Hello there guys, how's it going? This is Matt the Tomato right here, hope you're all well. Welcome back to some more Prison Architect. We are playing with the minimum security female prison, that's right. We're going to have some birds trying to dig their way out of trouble. And yeah, we'll see what happens. No. Yeah, they probably will, but let's see what happens. So, in the first part we just started up and we built this relatively basic area at the moment, but it's going to develop into something awesome later on, I'm hoping anyway. We're sort of more design freak orientated here. We're not necessarily going for anything rebellious. We're not looking to get any prisoners to rebel too often or things like that. But as we said, one thing that minimum security prisoners like to do is dig. So they like to dig tunnels and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock the finance, maintenance, security, psychology, and health. They are the 5 most important ones that I like to go for, and then because that gives us the massive range of options that we're going to need. Like they give us the deployment options, the intelligence. We get to know, we can see what our prisoners are about and things like that. Going to be quite nice. There's actually nothing to do in this yard right now, so what we could do is maybe fill this in with some stuff. So maybe we could get some phone booths in here. Let's go with 4 phone booths. We'll get some weights, benches, things like that, so that prisoners can get some exercise. We can add more in later on. And maybe just for some leisure purposes or something, we can put in a couple of sofas with some televisions. Because that way that satisfies the recreation needs. They can sit outside, they can watch some TV. Of course, these phones, they'll be phoning their families and things like that, but some of them will be phoning like people to get contraband and stuff like that. Later on, we can build stuff like phone taps, so we can listen into those sort of things, and then we can look at our intelligence and see where these contrabands are likely to be dropped and things, so we can carry out searches based on things like that. I'm actually just going to go and search these toilets real quick, just in case any of these girls have decided to try and dig their way out of... or at least start trying to dig. Right, doesn't look like it at the moment. Okay, that's fair enough. Cool. Okay, yeah, we could do 1 extra guard here, just to have one kicking around. Because at the moment they're messing around over here, trying to open doors and things, which is annoying. Okay, we actually have a prisoner up for parole already. That's interesting. Why are you all hanging around in the toilet? Hey, what are you doing? Why are you all hanging around in the toilets? Can be a bit weird. Now, of course, their current there's lots of programs and things that we can enact. Their current regime is a bit weird. Let's change this. So let's go sleep here, an hour in lockup, then have a shower. We'll put in work/free time. So if they ever get the chance to like work and things like that. Like if we give them some reform programs or something, then they can do that. Then eat. Yard time. Then work free time. Actually, hang on. Whoa. Work free time. Then we'll put eat a little bit earlier. Then lock up. Then sleep. That'll do. Plenty of sleep involved, but if they decide they haven't got enough time for yards and things like that, if they decide that they get cranky about that, we can change that. But for now, that's sort of the thing that we'll go for. We need to bring the electricity out here, because these televisions need power. And the other thing that I like to actually do is manually, this is the only time that I like to do this, but I like to manually put in some lights out in the yard. Because at night it can be a bit annoying, because the guards will have torches and things like that, but your vision is vastly reduced, which is very annoying. So what can you do? Okay, you're resting. This is where the staff room will come into play. They'll be able to rest in other places. So we can just, to complete the administration centre, all we need to do is hire the accountant. So it gives us access to financial reports, which is handy. Of course, they require an office. So the accountant's office is going to be this one at the back, and that completes that grant, which is lovely. So we get some money. So can we pick? Ooh, see, I like cell block A. but we have to complete a basic detention centre for that. Just out of curiosity, if I randomly... Actually, we could make this into a random shower. An overflow shower zone. And we could put more beds into the holding cell. Hey, that's not a bad idea. The only problem, though, is can I actually put... I suppose I can. Like an overflow shower. So what I could actually do is go and dismantle these drains and put some showers in there and have that as a shower, an overflow shower. Eventually it'll become an overflow shower, but at the moment it's just a normal shower. And obviously we do need to get some pipes in here. That's not too hard though, we can just do that. And then what we can do is, yeah, we dismantle the drains. So objects, the reason I dismantle them first is because once you dismantled them, they go into your sort of storage. And so you can actually replace them down for free because you've already paid for them. That's one of the reasons I like to do that. So let's go with that, and then eventually I'll dismantle these, and then I'll make this bigger, so we can actually have more people in the holding cell. And I can move that bench and stuff like that. I can make that a bit better. So that's actually with the idea of actually therefore keeping the holding cell, which is an unusual idea, but what can you do? So rooms, let's grab shower. There you go, job done. That completes that grant as well. We can put in some extra ones there. Utilities, and we can extend the pipe job to there. Should have probably dismantled these first. So dismantle, 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 and demolish walls. So we can sort that out. And that way, that'll be better actually. So it completed that grant as well, and it allows me to unlock the Cell Block A grant, which is nice because we want to start getting some proper cells in pretty soon. It gives you a big advance payment as well, which is nice. And we'll also pick up the inmate health and well-being. So we'll get a medical ward, some doctors, and a psychologist. We'll get all of those in. Right, so rooms, holding cell, fill that in, there we go. So now I can move this around, so dismantle that bench. Right, so objects, the bench, I'll put that over there. Ooh, Reconnaissance Drunzina is now playing Age of Empires. Shout out, Reconnaissance. And so I can actually put in another bed here. Like that. There. Objects. There. See, this could potentially be epically cramped. But, actually, yeah, this one, no, we'll delete that. I'll just have the one. We'll put that in. Yeah, so that's okay. 5 by 5, yeah, so you walk in there, you can sit on the bench, and then come through here to the toilet. That's fair enough. And what I might also want to do is, in the holding cell, actually have a telephone. So that whilst, if you're actually being held there at that particular time, you can actually be put into the holding cell, and you can phone your family and stuff like that. I reckon that's going to be quite a good idea. So we'll keep the holding cell kicking around then. Right, what have we finished here? We finished the... Oh, excellent. We finished maintenance, so we can get cleaning and things like that, which unlocks the janitor. So I think I'll go get the cleaning. And of course, you do need the foreman for that. So let's pick that guy up then. Foreman. There we go. So he's a member of staff now. He'll have his own office. Okay, prisoner intake. Fantastic. We have 3 new prisoners. Might just hire an extra guard just to make sure. And we're about to complete security, so I want to get the chief pretty soon, and that'll unlock things like deployment and things like that, which is beautiful. Deployment is so good. So here we have the chief. Let's put him in. And then we can unlock things like deployment. There we go, deployment. I'll pick that up as well. Because that means you can tell your guards... Ooh! You were trying to bring some poison in. For heaven's sake, Sadie. Bloody hell. And we've got Kylie over here. Okay, cool. Right, yeah, so you can unlock deployment, so you can tell your guards where to go. You can set them patrols. And you can also designate areas to be particular zones. So you can say, like, this area is staff only, this area is minimum security prisoners only, and things like that. You can dedicate that around. So we need to modify our intake here to take one less, because we can take 2 more in the holding cell. But at that point, it's going to start to become pretty cramped. So we're going to want to build our first cell block pretty soon. And we also need some solitary confinement, because, of course, this girl was found with drugs. Well, it's basically poison, but it was drugs. And so they need solitary confinement where they can be confined to their own little area. But we'll get that sorted in a second. So how are we going to build this then? Of course, I need a cell block here. But I'd like to have a part. See, I don't want prisoners walking out into the office area. I kind of don't really want that. So I might have them walking out here. So if we grab our planning tool, I love this by the way, this planning tool is so good. So if we built the block here, and we have the entrances here, so this is the sort of size of cell I like to build. Double entrance, because obviously I like to have a large jail door, because I don't want to keep it too cramped. So something like that, so that'll be a cell. That'll be a cell. Double door entrance. Like that. So that will basically be the cell block. So this will come along here. So these are individual cells. So we basically just need to draw L's like this. It's going to be quite big actually. I want to make this relatively big because they're individual cells. And then at the top, we need like a shower area. So if I go up to here, like this, and then build a line of showers along the top, pretty much like that, and then have a line of showers and just assign that as a shower. It's a bit crammed, but yeah, it's actually a bit cramped, but it's okay. So what I'll do then is, now that we have the broad area of the plan, I'm going to go ahead and actually build this. Only 10 grand. And then obviously we'll have objects. We'll put some large jail doors in. Here and here. Right, yard time, fair enough. And then at some point around here we'll have some solitary confinement. Right, so that's pretty much the plan. Okay, so that'll be our first cell block. And of course then that way the prisoners walk out here and not over here. Because I would probably like to actually cut that off and make that staff only, that area. Although if we make this a path that walks around, then that might be different. But I'm not sure whether we'll do that. We might do. Okay, cool. So we have deployment now. So basically what I'm going to do is we can deploy our guards. So I obviously want one in the holding cell, one in the reception, probably one in the canteen, and one out in the yard. So that's actually using all 4 of our guards here. So what we'll then do is grab an extra couple of guards so that so they don't, so that they can open these doors and things like that. Okay, now these large doors for the moment, I would like to keep them open. So obviously this is a foundation, so we'll allow the workmen to just be able to walk in and out of this big block here without causing too much trouble. So kitchen, cook, yeah, that's okay. Permanent guards deployed in certain areas is always nice. Okay, so it is a little bit crammed in here, as we can see. But that's where building this cell block now is going to be good. Okay, you're actually a snitch. You're a known informant. Okay, so we might want to put you into protective custody at some point. Okay, brill, that is exactly what I wanted it to do. So before we obviously do anything else, we need to get the utilities in here. So I'll drag you up to there. And down the corridor, basically. And then, of course, we need to get the pipes in here as well. But, of course, we've got to be careful because they can escape from pipes. So I think what we'll do is we'll draw it that way. Normally I'd cut it across there to save money, but that actually goes through a cell. And of course, if they can dig out that way, that'll be a great way to get out. So we're not going to allow them to do that. So we'll just carry on doing that. That'll be fine. And then once it's got all the power and all the pipes things in, we'll then start putting the walls in, then start putting the toilets and the beds and shower heads and things like that, and we'll get that properly sorted. We do have the overflow shower. Technically, this is the shower for the holding cell, but it is the overflow shower eventually. So. Okay, so the power will reach in here. We may actually need to put in another capacitor, just to be sure here. Now, of course, this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, 21, 28 cells, which obviously completes our cell block A, which would be nice. Okay, new capacitor in, that's great. That'll be so useful. Let's get all this electricity running in here. Yeah, and then we'll sort of, maybe we'll have a corridor here, and then we'll build some, like, rooms here, like the staff room, some other bits and bobs there, and I reckon the parole and visitation should probably be down by the reception. That's probably going to be a good idea, because we'll probably have another cell block here, and then we can have our parole and visitation down there. Something like that, I don't know, not sure yet, but, are there any other... Oh, yes, we can also hire the psychologist, that'll be great, and we'll get a couple of janitors as well. A couple of cleaners kicking around. Now the psychologist allows us to look at prisoner needs. So if I were to pick this prisoner here, for instance, we can hover over her and we can see what she needs. So she's desperate for environment, but she's satisfying a little bit of privacy at the moment, and she also needs a bit of hygiene. Okay, yeah, they all need environment. You're satisfying sleep. If the number of stars is low, or the lower the number of stars is, the less... Yeah, because the number of stars is going down there because she's satisfying that need. So if there's lots of stars like here where it says environment, there's lots and lots of stars. That means they're pretty desperate for it. Yeah, she's actually just talked there and said, I want environment. Okay, that's fair enough. Now, of course, these ones are asleep, so we'll sort of leave them alone. We're getting 2 more prisoners in the morning. Hopefully they won't be in there for too long at that point. We'll eventually they'll have their own cells and things like that, so they'll be able to walk around. And of course that'll satisfy the environment need a little bit more because they'll be able to walk around here, which is actually outdoors. So that'll be good. But the best satisfaction for the environment is yard time. So we might want to increase yard time. Might want to anyway. So our current cash flow is not very good at the moment, but that's because we're installing all these pipes and things. We've got a lot of work going on at the moment. And we did just hire a couple of janitors, so... Really, you've put a box of pipe in there, so you have to walk all the way around this way. That is a bit stupid. Oh well. Why don't you just put the box of pipe, you know, like here, like these guys have done. Just put it in the room and then install it there and then. Stupid morons. Oh, actually, it might be a good idea to hire some extra workmen. A couple of extra workmen might be good. 10 workmen is a good number for the start of the game, I think. Eventually you want to go up to 20, probably. Because you're going to be building lots of different things at the same time. It's going to be getting big and busy. Looks like they completed the pipe job, though, which is nice. Yeah, all sorted. Okay, brilliant. I just want to extend that a tiny bit further up the top there just to get the electricity in. Right, but now we're going to want to actually put in the walls here. So let's draw all the way down there. Get this in properly. This is very expensive. A cell block is expensive. Of course, if you want to save some money, you can go with dormitories, but Yeah, I'm not such a fan because people complain about privacy. It's okay, I suppose, with minimum security, but there probably comes a point where you're sort of like, well, hang on, you might need to... Right, so we'll mirror these. Ooh, no, don't do that. This is where I should... Oh, really? Keep misclicking that. Top there, excellent. A little bit of export money as well, that's nice. Look at all these walls going up here. The only advantage about just standard brick walls like this is they do build very, very quickly. Like, they've done that pretty quickly there. There we go. Excellent job. Okay. It's a lot of cells, which is good. That's exactly what we want. And I've left enough space and things like that. I'm hoping so, anyway. Right, so prisoner intake incoming. The extra bucks in the kitty there. Right, so next, see, we could put in some bunk beds, but I'm going to go with the shower approach here. Leaving a gap, of course, between them. Oh, perfect. Would you look at that? So that's quite a few showers. We do have 28 prisoners in here, though, so we're going to kind of want to put in some extra ones. So let's just sort of mirror those there. So there's a little bit more space. It's still pretty cramped in there, though, to be honest. If I wanted a proper amount of space, I would have left another gap. But I've not done that. I would have made this 3 tiles wide and not 2. But what can you do? So this is where the utilities comes into play. So pretty much what I'm just going to do is build loads of small piping along the top there. And then just extend that across there like that. Although actually that might do better being large pipes. Ooh, someone was caught with some fags, or rather a fag lighter. Okay, so we do need some solitary confinement. Because you're just stood around waiting here. There's no way to actually take you out of solitary confinement. You're just in... Yeah. You're literally just going to stand there, and you're going to complain quite heavily because you need a lot of stuff. Okay, so we do need some solitary confinement. I will need to put some in pretty soon. Just trying to work out where to put it. Because that's always going to be a path around the back there. Maybe at the top here or something like that. We might put some in behind the showers, because then we can put some toilets in along the back. The only problem with that is you are moving prisoners up this way, so maybe prisoners might be able to walk past the offices. It might be okay, I suppose. The greatest thing in the world. What can you do? I should build it behind here. So, toilet, square, door, path. Like that. Actually, hang on. That's a mistake. Because this is obviously a brick wall. So, let's just do that. That'll do. And then... Well, eventually that'll build itself up, so that's okay. Right, but at the moment they're building up this cell block, which I'm okay with, but we will need to put in a couple of solitary cells. Because if anyone gets caught with contraband and things like that, then they get locked up in solitary. Of course, if you don't have any solitary, then, well... Right, so actually we need to close our intake here, because we're not quite ready for any more intake. All our workers are knackered. Okay, so we'll need a staff room pretty soon as well. They're all absolutely cream-crackered. Right, so objects, we can get some beds and toilets in, I think. So, now of course I could build a toilet along the back wall here, but the problem with that is that's very easy to break out of there. So I'm actually going to build it on the inside wall, so if they do decide to dig, they'll have to dig a little bit further. Which is fine, because that increases the chance of us actually noticing that they're digging out. Now, a good way to combat that is actually to put in perimeter walls and things like that. But the thing is, if I build a perimeter wall along the outside here and then decide to expand that way, then I've just wasted it. So, and put some beds in as well. It's pretty expensive, but the cell block is damn expensive, but it pays for itself over time. I could be nice and actually put in some bookshelves in their cells as well. That increases cell quality and makes them complain a little bit less. I'd like to ask who's ever spent $2,600 on beds. I'd love to know. So objects. So this is pretty much done. I just need a couple of doors to get in here. But what's probably going to happen is we're going to eventually dismantle that, because we'll just open it out as a pathway and just let it go up and then have some solitary on the side. That's pretty much what we're going to do here. I'm also going to hire another guard. What we'll probably eventually have as well is we'll have 2 guards deployed in here. I always like to have 2 guards deployed at least in a cell block. Look at all these deliveries. Toilets and beds. Look at that. Loads of them. Where are you going? Oh, phoning family. Okay, family and freedom. Fair dues. I hope you're phoning family. Because if you're ordering contraband, then... well... because you can actually... if you know they're ordering stuff, if you know with the intelligence thing, if you know that that's what they're doing, then you can punish them manually. I'm also going to unlock... what should we unlock? Extra Grant is a nice one. And I think we'll go with patrols as well as the next one. Then we'll probably get surveillance after that. Right, I'm actually going to make this here top priority. Because I want to get that done. At the moment they're just building all these... they're putting these beds in and toilets and things at the moment though. So, right, we're all in the canteen. That's fine. Over, yeah, toilets. Ooh, hang on. Search those. Okay, that one's fine. Ooh, I thought I spotted the start of a tunnel there. If you actually discover the tunnel, then you see it properly. But sometimes there's little inklings with the toilets and things. Like you can see like bits of ground get dug up sometimes and things like that, and you can see it. So yeah. Right, so let's get all these bits and bobs in, then we'll sort out the utilities pretty soon. Look at all these toilets and beds. All these toilets and beds coming in here. Brilliant. Come on, let them out. Thank you. Right, so some of them have... ooh. Search prisoner. Nope, you're okay. Right. Because sometimes you found luxuries before, so they tend to perhaps maybe find them again. We've got to keep watch on these guys. Okay, so spirituality, alcohol. Oh god. Okay. If you're in desperate need of alcohol, then you might kick off. That can be solved. There is either the drugs program that you can get done at the infirmary, or the alcoholics group therapy is the other one. That's run by the psychologist. Usually done in the common room, I think. I'm not sure. Programs... yeah, treatment of drug addiction is done in the infirmary. The alcoholics group therapy is led in the common room. Okay. Cool. So we might want to run that one then at some point if we've got alcohol problems. Right, yeah, they're all working on the cell block at the moment. We've not got this done yet. This poor girl over here is still waiting for solitary. Could just temporarily assign one of these as solitary, but then that involves building a solitary door, which is pretty annoying. And we also need to build jail doors on all these. So. Right, so let's get the... to be honest though, I'd rather, once this is all done here, I'd rather just postpone this a little bit and have this ready. I think what we're going to do is we're going to end this episode right here. So that's it for now then. So thanks for watching. If you like Prison Architect, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. For now, that's it. And join me next time for more from myself, Matt the Tomato, and I'll play through with our female minimum security prison. See you later, guys.